see. Book of Romans. And the R's just have us a little problem up here, don't we? Book of Romans. He kick up a little bit. I want to get, you know what, it's a little chilly here, but you can be in California where it's warm enough. Where it's overly warm, isn't that right? But they don't want to hear that song, burn, baby, burn. It's on fire. I don't want to hear that now, do they? They done discoed and danced the night away. The daylight here now, the human light here now. Time to get right. This is the 15th chapter of the book of Romans. At verse 4, listen to the book.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
For what reason?
That we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So what we're trying to do, let's look at something. Relationship, which is one of the most important things. I mean, for most people, you know what people do for relationships? A lot of stuff. Relationships, 6 and 44. We want to establish a relationship. Isn't that right? You know, some people fictionalize relationship. I had friends years ago. I ain't not even know how to suck a passion mark on their arm. You ever seen no people do that? Huh? Yeah, you done it. I didn't know how to do it. They put a passion mark on their arm and hand, make it look like somebody put on it. It'd be them. And people, kids. People fictionalize. I remember when you were little, it'd be stars, a different one in your heart. It was your girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? You fictionalize relationship. And you know, and people have grown and gone from being children fictionalizing relationships to people have started to fictionalize salvation. That's a relationship. It's a relationship. A lot of times people have kind of fictionalized. In order for any good, healthy relationship to continue, it's going to need some attention. No relationship will just kind of grow on its own. It's going to need attention, kind of like plants. You know, even with plants, they'll tell you sometimes for healthy plants, people that's kind of what they call green thumb, you know, they'll tell you want to talk to plants. You never heard that? It's healthy. Some people play music. Tomorrow, well, they play music to plants. Y'all ever known people do stuff like that? They'll talk to them. They'll rub them and feel them. Or they see, I remember my dad, he had what they call a green thumb. I remember my cousin in 1970, it had to be like 74. She had went to the fair, she bought a cup. And it was a cup with dirt, had seeds in it. My dad had took it from and grew it. That thing grew for years. I got family, that plant still been going. He had that thing going all the way around the living room. It was up, grew out of a pot, and it would grow around. He took it, put it in the yard, and grew. He had one of them thumbs. Like, you know, he knew how to nurture a plant. He watched it, he see the brown, he would tear it off. He would tear the brown off because he knew it would start to cause the other part of the plant to become contaminated and it'll kill it. So he would notice stuff about the leaf, and he would just cut it off from there. And it would continue to just grow, and it just kept flourishing. It started in the cup. And my cousin would always come by when she first seen it in the pot. She said, I got to get my plant. She said that for a lot of years. She ain't never get that plant. Not doubt. My dad had nourished and brought up, it was his. She brought it home. It was just in a cup. She was young in college. She would just let it die or threw it away and kept the cup. It's one of them look like them colorful cups they had back then. You kind of say, I'm like man, come with Tupperware or something. But just looking at what it takes in order for things to grow, you got to nurture it. He cared for it. He made sure he watered it. He put it where it could get light. You know what I'm saying? He saw, he actually took care of it. So it put it in position where it can only continue to grow. Kind of like a relationship. And that thing grew over a course of years. It can just continue to grow and flourish. Same thing we look at now. In order for us to get where we got to go, we got to build a relationship. But this relationship we got, it's got to be nurtured. It's got to be cultivated. You got it? I don't guess we think about stuff. Sometimes people don't put that in and just run and expect to get something out of it. But you don't have a relationship. There's no real connection. You don't know how it's been established or how it got to this point. So we try to look at that tonight. This is the book of Yuchanan that they call St. John, chapter 6 and verse 44. Listen to the book.
No each can come to me, except the Abba which hath sent me draw him,
And what'll happen?
and I will raise him up at the last yom.
Tell them what happened.
It is written in the Nabi'im,
Tell them what's going to happen.
and they shall be all taught of Elohim.
See that? And they shall all be taught of Elohim. What happened?
Every each therefore that hath heard
And
hath learned of the Abba
doth what?
cometh unto me.
That's good. Let's see, Bereshit, Genesis, since we kind of talked about it. Chapter 2 at verse 1. Listen to the book. The other ones, before you get me to 2 and 1, well, go ahead and get 2 and 1. Then we'll get to, let's see if it's 1 and 12, I'm thinking. I tell you what, but my memory is like, phew. I don't know what didn't happen. This 49 thing hit. I don't know what happened. I just started losing. Guess after a while you just know so much stuff, your database started racing. I got so many numbers in my phone. Periodically, my phone just started deleting, getting rid of people's numbers. I've been looking. I said, I know I had these people. It just get rid of it. Listen, you just got too many people. You just drop them. My phone just go through and pick them. I guess my mind started looking, you just know too much. You just start dropping some information. This stuff I needed. So I just got to go back and work on it. All right, listen to the book. Bereshit, I told them 2 and 1. Then we'll look at 1:12. Listen to the book.
Thus the Shamayim and the Arats were finished, and all the host of them. And on the 7th yom, Elohim ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the 7th yom from all his work which he had made.
And so he could have his strength to go to church on Sunday. You know, the fact that people read this and still come up with going to church on Sunday and go to Sunday and call it the Lord's Day. I mean, growing up, the white man taught us to say, he taught us that Saturday, well, he had us thinking that the Sabbath day was Sunday. Because look at how they count for the weekend. That's the last day before you go to work on Monday. This man had, but you know, our law told us that he was going to think to do that. He's always been set, and we were told before it happened that this man was going to come along and he was going to look to change times and seasons. He's done it for us. This man had put us now and have us thinking that Sunday. I know I did as a Christian. I just felt like people go on Saturday. That's just when they were going to go. If that's what you want to do, you were wrong. But if you want to go on Saturday, you could do it. You were just wrong. Because everybody knew that Sunday was the Lord's day. Even when John was on the island called Patmos, he was in the Ruach. He was in the Spirit on the Lord's day. Everybody knew it was Sunday. What a day would the Lord had? When you're a Christian, people tend to teach you the way they want you to think. Everything that I believed as a Christian was because other Christians taught it to me. And there were certain premises and disciplines you weren't supposed to break. Even when it interfered with the law, Christian principles overrode it. They picked the law when it was convenient. Paying tithe, they always got it from the law. It was always convenient for the law. Isn't that right? Anything else in the law? I'm so glad Jesus came and died. He just didn't take tithe with him. He nailed everything to the cross but tithe. And everything they got, they casually pick what they want to pick. Go and name their church Mount Zion, Old Testament, Mount Moriah. And there are all these different names they go pick from. Nebo, Mount Nebo. Every country got a Mount Nebo. Saint Galilee. Isn't that right? But then they just casually just kind of go and get away from and take what they want. What we don't want to do is to try to have our own, what we want to call righteousness. So we don't want to try to go and fabricate a relationship that's not there. So we try to go and look at, if we're going to create a relationship, it's going to make sense to do what they did. As some say, let's just not try to recreate the wheel. The round wheel rolls. Let's go with what works. What does he respond to? What did he predicate? So there's no use in trying to reinvent, this nice square wheel people going to come out with. I'm not interested. The round wheel, it rolls. Y'all got it? Let's just stick with what works. I don't know why. And when people don't like it, just change the name of your church, your auxiliary, or your commission, or whatever you call it, and just do something different and take the parts you like. I don't want to take the parts I like. I want to take what's right, and I want to operate according to it. So I want to make sure I get this thing right. He said, thus the Shamaim and all the host of them were finished. And what happened? And then he rested
on the seventh yom,
which is good. Listen.
From all his work which he had made.
Yeah.
And Elohim Barak the seventh yom, and consecrated it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which Elohim created and made.
What happened?
These are the Tuladath of the Shamayim and of the Arats when they were created in the Yom that Yahuwah Elohim made the Arats and the Shamayim.
Yes.
And every plant of the field before it was in the Arats, and every herb of the field before it grew.
What happened?
For Yahuwah Elohim had not caused it to rain upon the Arats.
Yeah.
And there was not a Ish to till the Adumah.
Yeah.
But there went up a mist from the Arats and watered the whole Pani of the Adumah.
What happened?
And Yahuwah Elohim formed Ish of the dust of the Adumah and breathed into his nostrils the breath of Kai.
And what did he do?
Ish became a Kai Nephash.
What happened?
And Yahuwah Elohim planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the Ish whom he had formed, and out of the Adumah made Yahuwah Elohim to grow every ox that is pleasant to the sight, and ta'ub for food, the ox of Kai also in the midst of the garden, and the ox of knowledge of ta'ub and Rasha.
Yeah.
And a Nahar went out from Eden.
That's good. That's good. At 1 and 12, book of Barashit, Genesis, and they'll call it chapter 1 and verse 12. Listen to the book.
And the Arats brought forth grass, and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the ox yielding pari, whose seed was in itself after his kind.
What happened?
And Elohim saw that it was ta'ub.
It was what?
Ta'ub.
So what will we learn from that? Keep it that way. Let's just keep it that way. Since we done found out what Elohim like, wouldn't it make sense to just keep it that way? Wouldn't it make sense? I mean, the fact he told it was ta'ub, it's something was pleasing to him. Wouldn't it make sense for us to keep it that way? Isn't that right? So he brought a ish in, a man in, and made sure keep it that way. That's what I like. I want to stay just like that. I don't want you to add nothing to it. I don't want you to take nothing away from it. Keep it that way. See, we got a relationship forming right here. Before, it was nothing. So now we find bara that he created. And in his creation, when he put it in, he realized it's going to need cultivated. It's got to be kept. It's going to have to be talked to. It's going to be taught. It's going to be pruned. It's going to have to be dressed. It's got to know what and when it's supposed to bear and when it's supposed to be kept, when it's supposed to be plucked. All these things got to be done. We're building a relationship here. So now when he come along, he started to refer to the people as being ox, trees. What are the trees supposed to do? Bear fruit. Let's see what happened at the book of Matthew. Said chapter 3. Matthew. Simply about verse 7. You know what's amazing? Even when you look in the book of Barashit, you find a dietary law. He gave him a dietary law. At 2 and 16, that same book, right quick. Barashit 2 and 16. Why don't you get me Matthew chapter 3 and verse 7? Listen to the book.
And Yahuwah Elohim commanded the Ish, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat.
What happened?
But of the tree of the knowledge of ta'ub and Rasha thou shalt not eat of it.
Tell them why, son.
For in the yom that thou eatest thereof,
What happened?
thou shalt surely die.
See that? Y'all all right? Goodness. Let's see something right quick. Pick me up at the book of Acts of the Apostle, chapter 10, verse 10. Other one, get me borrow a sheet. See if it's 10 and 10. Acts of the Apostle, chapter 10 and verse 10. Listen to the book.
And he became very hungry and would have eaten. But while they made ready, he fell into a trance, and saw Shamaim open, and a certain vessel descending unto him, as it had been a great sheet knit at the four corners and let down to the arats, wherein were all manner of four-footed beasts of the arats, and wild beasts, and creeping things, and fowls of the air. And there came a voice to him, Rise, Cuff, kill and eat. But Cuff said, Not so, Adon, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean. And the voice spake unto him again the second time, What Elohim hath cleansed, that call not thou common. This was done thrice, and the vessel was received up again into Shamaim. Now while Cuff doubted in himself what this Chazun which he had seen should mean, behold, the Anashim which were sent from Cornelius had made inquiry for Simon's house, and stood before the gate, and called and asked whether Simon, which was surnamed Cuff, were lodged there. While Cuff thought on the Chazun, the Ruach said unto him, Behold, 3 Anashim seek thee. Arise therefore, and get thee down, and go with them, doubting nothing.
That's good. At chapter 3, Barashit, Genesis, they call it chapter 3, and verse 4. Listen to the book.
And the Nakash said unto the Ashah, Ye shall not surely die.
What happened?
For Elohim doth know that in the yom ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened.
And what happened?
Ye shall be as Elohim,
Doing what?
knowing Ta'ub and Rasha.
Tell me what happened.
And when the Ashah saw that the tree was Ta'ub for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise,
What did she do?
she took of the fruit thereof,
And did what?
eat.
You see the difference between her and Cuff? He was hungry too. And he would have eaten. He was hungry too. While they made ready, a sheet was netted at the four corners, was let down to him. All kind of unclean things were in there. Told him, Arise, slay and eat. He said, Not so. I'm not that hungry. I'm not hungry enough to go into transgression. He had a dietary law just like she did. He was hungry too, Dave. Why he didn't eat? Surely it had to be of the Lord. Just trying to see, well, sometimes we do relationship. You know, it kind of prepares us to know sometimes people get in an awkward, precarious situation, and we kind of tend to put things on Mr. Yahuwah as though we've been set up and we didn't know or whatever. That's going to happen because a lot of times we don't have a relationship. He knew it meant something, but I know he didn't mean eat. He ain't broke no dietary law. He didn't set him up to go here to break no dietary law. Yet when she saw it, when she was hungry, she saw it looked just as good as anything else to me. I don't know what nobody else thinking. Pork ribs do look just as good as beef ribs. Even better, but I'm not going to eat it. Everybody don't have that testimony to do with it tonight. Isn't that right? Now, he thought on it now because he was hungry. It made sense to let down some food and he hungry. Who could it be but the law? Trying to meet your need. They in there cooking, they dragging around slow, talking, women that gospel want to flip on Oprah. You hungry. I want to watch Dr. Phil. Somebody that want to watch 50 Cent show Power. He hungry. He go up here on the roof. Hey, man, will come down here, man. I'll see some nice buzzer stew. Isn't that right? And you could be eating and go ahead and go to home. How many of y'all you get home, your head go to hurt something? Know what that man had to be. He had to get out of here. Like, man, I can't sit in here and sit around this stuff while I cook it. I can smell it smells so good. But he knew it was never a reason to transgress. But that comes with the relationship. When you have a relationship, a lot of things are open to speculation to where you just start to go into do. That's the difference. We're trying to build a relationship that it should be annoying, that our disciplines don't change. Y'all got it? So we just saw that, just looking at 2 disciplines. At the 3rd chapter of the book of, Matthew, chapter 3, what was that, verse 6, 7?
3 and 7.
3 and 7. Matthew, 3 and 7. That heater kick on out the wine. That's so cold out, that thing sucked the heat out. Listen to the book.
But when he saw many of the Pharisees and Sadducees come to his immersion,
What happened?
he said unto them, O generation of vipers,
What happened?
who hath warned you to flee from the wrath to come?
What did he want them to do?
Bring forth, therefore, fruits meet for repentance.
You know who bring forth pari? Trees, ox. That's what we just got through seeing over here in the 1st chapter of the book of Barashit. He just had, pick it up again at 1 and 12, Barashit. I say, you don't want to fictionalize your relationship. You want to solidify your relationship. You want to solidify our relationship with a mod. You know, this ain't a guessing game. We got to make sure we get this thing right. Talking to a young man tonight, but his father called me, talked with me about his son with women preachers. I said, man, that's been so long ago. I just tell you the truth. Just realize you're thinking, I forget they even got women preachers. I don't know none. A lot of stuff I don't even think, I really don't think about no woman preacher. I really don't think twice about it. It's a lot of stuff. I don't even think about one husband, one wife. I forget all about these people in the adultery right here. It's just something I don't even think about with them. Because otherwise you take such a disciplined thing, the people I know that take this already know it's not even a conversation. We already know. But you forget that the people of the world, this stuff, they still, and the women preaching ain't changed. You the same old stuff. Ain't nobody changed yet. Listen, these people continue with the same stuff, mesmerizing people. Anytime you find a woman preacher, you're going to find a weak man. I ain't never seen no strong men find no women preacher. They think they're strong, you're weak men. And sissies. Women preaching notorious for gay men. Well, you can't be a gay man, that's a moron. You just gay. Gays. Carpetbaggers. Isn't that right? That's all you're going to find. That's all you're going to get them, isn't it? That was that fudge packer. That's all I'm getting it right. You got the Green Bay Packers, then you got the Packer. Isn't that right? You got the fudge Packers. When they play every day. And they just shut that team down. Isn't that right? Too many men on the field. Violation. Isn't that right? Isn't that right? I'm joking, left formation, all kind of. They ain't got nothing but flag. That's why they call them gay flag. They ain't got nothing but flag. Ain't nothing but penalties. Why you think Sissy got a flag? They know it's a penalty. Yeah. Isn't that right? That's how they go get a flag. They know it's a penalty. No, they don't broke the law. Y'all like that, don't they? I would say I'm going to wear them sisters out if somebody beat me to it. But I wasn't going to do it like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, somebody, you ever say you want to wear them? Nothing. Not like that. You know, I like cheese. I'm no rat. I play many games, but not like that. Not like that. Let's see what happened over here. This is Barashit chapter 1 at verse 12. The other one hold me, Matthew chapter 3 at verse 7. Listen to the book. And
the rods brought forth grass, and herb yielding seed after his kind.
Whose seed?
And the ox yielding pari.
See that? And the trees yielding fruit. Whose what?
Seed was in itself.
What happened?
After his kind.
And what happened?
Elohim saw that it was ta'ud.
See that? He saw it was ta'ud. Y'all saw that? He saw it was ta'ud. This is here in the 3 and 7. This is 3 and 7 of Matthew. That's all we're trying to do. We just want to establish a relationship. Listen to the book.
But when he saw many of the Pharisees and Sadducees come to his immersion,
what happened?
He said unto them, O generation of vipers, who hath warned you to flee from the wrath to come?
What did we find about serpent? By the Nefesh. It was subtle, deceiving. Was it Nakash? The Nakash. We find with the sip, he was subtle and he was deceptive. He saw a lot of deceptive, deceiving people. And when he saw them, he said, "O generation of Nakash."
Vipers.
What happened?
Who hath warned you to flee from the wrath to come?
You want to know who warned them to flee from the wrath to come. So what we do?
Bring forth, therefore, fruits meet for repentance.
So you got to bring forth something that Elohim will accept. He wants you to bring forth something that he'll accept. That's all he was doing. That's why I'm saying establishing a relationship. Even with this, he giving people a chance to come. First of all, he's trying to get the people to see something. See Yeshayahu 58:1. Yeshayahu, Isaiah. Listen to the book.
Cry aloud.
Do what else?
Spare not.
You don't think that will hurt them people feelings? How you feel? It's a merging and a whole bunch of people and somebody just call you a viper. You snake. What you doing here, you snake? You wouldn't be embarrassed. You like, wow. Who warned you? Cry aloud.
Spare not.
Lift up.
Thy voice like a shofar.
And
shew my arm their transgression.
And
the Beth of Yaakov their sins.
See that? Show them their sin. See that? That's what he was trying to let them know. And then he gave them an opportunity to get right. Just told them they were snakes. They already knew, but then you have been called out publicly. That puts you on blast publicly. That's embarrassing. But they told them, well, bring forth pari that's meet for repentance. You know who can do that? Trees. Whose seed is in themselves. Because that's good. That's what he excelled. Let's see what happened in the 12th chapter of the book of Romans, 12:1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up your voice like a teruah. Show my arm, that transgression, the house of Yaakov, their sin. Listen to the book.
I beseech you, therefore, Achim, by the mercies of Elohim, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice.
What else?
Kadash, acceptable unto Elohim, which is your reasonable service.
And do what?
And be not conformed to this world.
See that? Don't be conformed to this world, but be ye
transformed by the renewing of your mind.
That you may do what?
Prove what is that ta'ub and acceptable and perfect will of Elohim.
That's why he left and he wanted them to stay that way. You know what happened to most people though? You start conforming to. Just like they did. When you get around other people, they'll tend to influence your decision. Other people will. They'll influence your behavior. You'll start taking on other people's ideas, and it becomes dangerous, especially when you deal with your salvation, because you'll start taking common things you pick up from people. You got a lot of astute people out here in society, no doubt. They got a lot of book knowledge and information, but that stuff don't move me for salvation. Isn't that right? A lot of times we tend to do. You'll figure if a person's smart enough in one area, surely that'll count for salvation. You know, it's just being honest. That's how we typically do things. A lot of times what we grade people by ain't the same way he grade people. See, pick me up at 55 and 5. Yeshayahu. We'll make it Aleph Shamuel, chapter 16, and see if it's 14. Which is 1 Samuel. See if it's 16, 14. Yeshayahu. Give me Yeshayahu, which they call Isaiah 55 and 5. Listen to the book. It don't matter, just load the gun. I can work with either one of them. We'll switch them.
Behold, thou shalt call a nation.
This is Yeshayahu 55 and 5. Behold, thou shalt call a nation.
That thou knowest not.
That thou knowest not.
And nations that knew not thee shall run unto thee because of Yahuwah thy Elohim, and for the Kudash one of Yasharal, for he hath glorified thee. Seek ye to Yahuwah while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Let the Rasha forsake his way, and the unrighteous Ish his thoughts.
And do what?
Let him return unto Yahuwah, and he will have rakam upon him.
See what he's going to do? He's going to have mercy upon him. Hold on for a minute. Seek ye Yahuwah while
he may be found,
call ye upon him,
while he is near.
let the wicked
Forsake his way,
and
the unrighteous Ish his thoughts.
let him do what?
Return unto Yahuwah.
And he will do what?
Have rakam upon him.
And to who?
Our Elohim
For he what?
will abundantly pardon.
That's good. What you got? What you got? Barashit, chapter 3, verse 7. I want that. Give me that Yehukanan 6:44. Yehukanan, St. John, they call it 6:44. Listen to the book.
No Ish can come to me,
No ish can come to me.
except the Abba, which have sent me, draw him.
And what happened?
I will raise him up at the last yom.
See that? Then what happened?
It is written in the Nabiim,
That they should do what?
be all taught of Elohim.
See that? It's written in Nabaim that they should all be taught of.
Elohim.
Tell what happened, side.
Every Ish therefore
That had
heard,
and
hath learned of the Abba, cometh unto me.
see the difference? Well, I don't know what to say different. You kind of see what he's telling you. What's the proof in that you've been taught is it is showing your learning. It is showing your behavior. You can teach a lot of people, but a lot of people can't actually do application to where it's beneficial, to where they actually get the produce or get the product to actually produce what it's supposed to. That's the problem we got with a lot of things that people try to do. See, everything he told in Barashit, in Bara, created or made, everything just kept the pattern. That's why it's still him. It kept the pattern. You've been wiped out. You've been destroyed, so many times. Taken away, displaced, and moved. But with them, a lot of things have kind of kept the same pattern. A lot of other things have fell into destruction simply because of you. Simply because of you. We've been one of the only creatures he got that just don't sin and obey and follow. And we're starting to see what the pattern is. You got it? We can see what the pattern is. We're saying no each can come unto me, except the Abba will send me, draw him, and I'll raise him up in the last June. But it's written in Nabaim, they're all going to be taught of Elohim. Every man, therefore, that had heard and has learned, that comprehended the teaching, those are the ones going to come to me. So now we're going to look at building this relationship. Like y'all come in, you get taught 3 times a week. But do you actually comprehend the teaching? You know what's amazing? Yahusha even asked them in the 13th chapter of the book of Matthew, have ye? I don't know why he would ask them that. They've been taught. If you've been taught, you got to understand, right? Why would he ask them how they understood it? Why would he ask them how they understood it? Because he knew how important it was to make sure you actually grasp the concept. A lot of times people don't. Relationship. We're trying to relationship build. We're trying to understand exactly what it is he's trying to get from us. If he marks something good, then we're going to try to follow that pattern. As he said, mark, uphold. Well, what is the 2? That's a mark, too. That's a mark. He just told us to mark the perfect each. That's what we did. We put them on the 2. We marked them. Then he told us to behold, because he said his word even is upright. He said it was upright. Even the bar truth. So we've been told, when we saw that was him. And he told we should look on him. We were going to look on the perfect ease. Behold, the upright. He said the end of that man is shalom. So let me ask you a question. Why you don't have no shalom? What you mark? Where your mark at? That's the truth. Where they mark at? Where your mark? And doing building, sometimes you'll do stuff, you'll put, that's your mark. And you start moving and you start working from there. That's what we do with him. You center the room with him. You got to center him in your life. You got to center him in your inward part. Then you start working from there. That's how you know if you stay straight. You can use that mark to tell you whether or not you get on. We got the plumb line. That's what it is. Listen, they got a little chart now. You lasers. They had a chart line. You take out and get it. You tighten that line up. You pull it. You pull up. It got chalk on it. You put it and pop it. That's it. Pop. Slap the ground. Start laying brick to the line. We learned that. Mr. Yahuwah taught us that. White folks ain't taught us that. That's what a plumb line is. You put it on the ground. How many of y'all have seen that? It looks like a measuring tape, but it's got a spinner on it. It's got a little wine. You take it, you tell the man, take it down the end, put it, and you put it tight on the ground. Once you see it straight, you pull up and pop the ground. That thing's like, it slap the ground. And you just roll it up. Start laying bricks down that line. You'll stay straight. When we start in Barashit, you stay straight, take you right where you got to go. You got to start right here. It'll put you right. This is your mark. We start from here, we mark, and we keep going. All right. Let's see what happened at 3 and 7, Barashit. Barashit 3 and 7. Listen to the book.
And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons.
So what did they just do? We see them transform. They started to conform. That's what they did. You start to conform to something else. That's what you do. And when you get away from Mr. Yahuwah, you can tell yourself you want to. You're going to start to look like something else. You're going to do it. Don't let nobody fool you. You're going to start to conform to something else. But that's why he tried to tell you, though, but be ye transformed. You got to come over from that. You don't know that? You didn't know that? Once you get away from him, what you think going to happen? Once they got away from him, they look like, listen, they got sight. What were they going to do? I can see. Ain't no man going to be leave me, make no fool out of me. I'm my own man, king of my council. So you go get you some leaves. They knew they were naked and they sewed fig leaves together. What did they do?
And made themselves aprons.
And did what?
And they heard the voice of Yahuwah Elohim.
Hold on, back me up a little bit. Tell me what happened after.
And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. And they heard the voice of Yahuwah Elohim walking in the garden in the cool of the Yom.
And tell them what they did.
And Adam and his Ashah hid themselves from the presence of Yahuwah Elohim amongst the trees of the garden.
See that? Start looking like the other one. Same thing he just told you not to do. And be not conformed to the right. They just conform. They already had their own identity. And as soon as you sin, it's easy to try to go and connect with other people. Why people, they go connect with other sinners. But everything he told them not to do, that's what they do. They're gonna go and you're gonna wind up conforming. You ain't gonna be transformed. You don't transform, you don't just conform. You just conform. You went from over to being just like them. Okay. That don't strike nothing. Let's see something right quick. Let's see how we do this. See if Matthew chapter 20, 26, 50. Matthew, they call him Matthew. Make it 47. Let's see if it's your Uka 9, 18, 15. Let's see. Matthew 26, 47. Listen to the book.
And while he yet spake, lo, Yehuda, one of the 12, came, and with him a great multitude with swords and staves from the Rosh Kohanim and Zakan of the arm. Now he that betrayed him gave them a sign, saying, Whomsoever I shall kiss, that same is he, hold him fast. And forthwith he came to Yahusha and said, Hail, Adon, and kissed him.
What was y'all told about that?
Kiss the Ben, lest he be angry.
See how important that was for you? Well, sometimes folks get upset. You know, you ain't gonna believe it. You ever had it before? It could be a spot someone get upset. You used to come in, give me a kiss, get that, gone. They break. ever seen that before? Somebody be upset and you give them, they be like, oh, you be like, you try to hold that anger, you be so mad, you just realize, oh, good, I can't even be upset. Oh, you know why he let that happen? Because otherwise, how would you understand this? So I had to kiss him, keep him from being upset. Listen to the book.
And Yahusha said unto him, Friend, wherefore art thou come? Then came they and laid hands on Yahusha and took him. And behold, one of them which were with Yahusha stretched out his hand and drew his sword and struck a abad of the Rosh Kohanim and smote off his ear.
So, like people tell you, like Christianity taught us about having guns and stuff. Because it's not the Christian thing. That's why I'm not a Christian. Because I'm just figuring, you walking around with a man that's stopping wind, water, got pigs running down the water drowning, opening blind eyes, Malachi coming down, clouds opening up, voices talking to him. What you doing with a sword? Them the guys you should have been questioning. What you doing with a sword? And you got all that going on with you. Why he ain't condemn him? Why he ain't tell me? Any brother I find walking around here got a sword on here, a son, and going away to burn in hell. These people convinced us and got us throwing away guns and trading them in for Christmas for toys. This man, as soon as he would grab, this man knew what happened. And that thing come out. Here come, huh? Can you hear me now? I'm right. Can you hear me now? You know what that dude right there did as soon as he got hit? Started playing the piano. Roll over, Beethoven. Man wrote a symphony. How the white man get to do that? And he can't get that. Because he's recorded. People don't know that. Y'all learn that. He actually helped the man write a symphony. Don't worry about it. There's somebody going there, they'll believe that. All this good word I don't give them the bar. I'm like, but which one you going to condemn me for? Listen to the book.
Then said Yahusha unto him,
What did he say?
Put up again thy sword into his place.
You said, take it off, you son, and burn in hell?
Put up again thy sword into his place.
You hypocrite. I ain't know you've been walking around me this whole time with a knife on your side.
Put up again.
I'm confused. Put it back in the holster on your side. Am I getting it correct? How did a Christian preacher read this and tell me this man don't have a gun? If they'd have had guns then, the man would have had a 9. No, he would have had a 45. And now you got to kill folk like Goliath, 45, straight through that nigga eye. 10 millimeter, elephant gun. Huh? I don't know where people get it from. Why did he just tell him to put it back instead of getting rid of it? This thing, you're going to burn in hell with this thing. Listen.
Put up again thy sword into his place, for all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword.
Come on.
Thinkest thou that I cannot now pull law to my Abba?
And do what?
And he shall presently give me more than 12 legions of Malachi.
But what were he concerned about?
How then shall the scriptures be fulfilled?
Because all cover looking at, I can't see nobody trying to take you while I'm right here. I don't know how them niggas gonna leave with no hands on. Come with me. They ain't gotta come here now. It's gonna be tight. How you gonna grab him? You ain't got no. You want to hug him, and I'm gonna cut you off at the shoulder. It's gonna be tight trying to take that man away from him. You ain't got no hands. He's looking at it, ain't happening. Once a nigga done hit you and took that ear out, you just thinking, was this a chance thing? But this nigga just that accurate. I mean, what are you thinking? This a fluke. Try the other one. Now you thinking, this pretty serious right here. This boy this thing ain't been sitting here dusty while he fishing. This man hitting trees, Zorroing on stuff. This man been practicing. And then he was like, shoot, I hit that nigga too far. I cut the wrong thing. He looking at, I meant to take that ear off. That thing just flip over like that and just rolled out. That thing just start rolling down your shirt like that right here, like a slinky. Like, man, I don't know what I was thinking that morning. I got up and somebody told me, let's go grab that man. Blood stuff shooting all outside. You're like, man, this is bad. This is bad right now. One of them bad Chinese movies. Isn't that right? I want they crying like how Anthony do Hachikashi. Cause once your ear's gone, I want your tear go back for your ears, or do they still go down? You done lost an ear. That's your equilibrium. Your ears get started. How many of y'all ears get started? Feel like you're balanced up? That nigga had been kind of real woozy right then. Oh, let's see what happened.
But how then shall the scriptures be fulfilled, that thus it must be?
See now? Listen.
In that same hour said Yahushua to the multitudes, are ye come out as against a thief with swords and staves
They had him.
for to take me?
That's why he got it. They got him, I want one. He look, they had him, I'm going to get me one too. Prayer is my weapon. I'm praying I hit you that I don't miss. Prayer, I want my prayers to be answered. Hey, look at that. They got whatever came out of man get with swords and staves. He need to have him one. They got one. He look at why I can't have one. I don't think like that. I still got him. They don't want one. They don't want to hurt nobody. You want somebody to hurt you. I'm going to kick your door and rape you and take your kids. Kick my door and you don't need another. You don't need a couple of foots. Preferably you're going to need, let me see, should be 12. They're going to need 6 folks to carry out, and both of them are going to need 2 footses apiece. It's footses. So you're going to need at least 12 footses. Y'all can't count. Carry by 6. It's going to be 12 footses. All right, let's just check. Come on, doing the math, which is easy. Listen.
I sat daily with you, teaching in the temple, and ye laid no hold on me.
Listen.
But all of this was done, that the scriptures of the Nabiim might be fulfilled.
Like what?
Then all the Methodis forsook him and fled.
18th chapter of the book of Yehukanai. (18, 17). Listen to the book.
Then saith the damsel that kept the door unto Cuff,
What happened?
art not thou also one of this Ish's Methetis?
Yeah.
He saith, I am not.
What happened?
And the servants and officers stood there, who had made a fire of coals, for it was cold. And they warmed themselves, and Cuff stood with them, and warmed himself.
What happened?
And the high Kohan then asked Yahusha of his Methetis, and of his doctrine. Yahusha answered him, I spake openly to the Arats. I ever taught in the synagogue and in the temple, whither the Yahudim always resort.
Yeah.
And in secret have I said nothing.
So he ain't never taught in no church. Because Jesus, I know Jesus used to go teach at different churches. He said he was teaching where the Yehudi, where they'll resort at. No self-respecting Yehudi going to be at church. He only taught where we were, otherwise it wouldn't be beneficial. If he'd have taught in the church, we wouldn't know nothing about it. We just wouldn't know nothing about his teaching. Because we wouldn't have been at church. He said, all I would have taught was where we often resorted at. Right? Just being honest, a lot of things these people put on us, I don't know where to get it from. Listen.
Why askest thou me, ask them which heard me, what I have said unto them?
Why?
Behold, they know what I said.
So who they going to be asking? That's what I've been teaching. What happened, Brandon?
And when he had thus spoken, one of the officers which stood by struck Yahusha with the palm of his hand, saying, Answerest thou the high Kohan so?
Yeah.
Yahusha answered him, If I have spoken evil, bear witness of the evil.
What happened?
But if well, why smitest thou me?
What happened?
Now Annas had sent him bound unto Caiaphas the high Kohan.
Yeah.
And Shimon Kof stood and warmed himself. They said therefore unto him, Art not thou also one of his Methetis? He denied it and said, I am not.
What happened?
One of the servants of the high Kohan, being his kinsman, whose ear Kof cut off,
I try to tell you folks a kinsman is a male relative. Tell them what happened.
saith, Did not I see thee in the garden with him?
What happened?
Cuff then denied again, and immediately the cock crew.
What happened?
Then led they Yahusha from Caiaphas unto the hall of judgment, and it was early.
So what happened?
And they themselves went not into the judgment hall, lest they should be defiled.
Let's see what happened over here again at 12:1 of the book of Romans. Romans 12:1. Listen to the book.
I beseech you, therefore, Akim, by the rakam of Elohim,
By the mercies of Elohim,
that ye present your bodies a kai sacrifice,
a living sacrifice.
kudash,
And
acceptable unto Elohim.
so we learned about acceptable when we saw it was in the garden. That's what we learned about what was acceptable in the garden. You know how we know it was acceptable? Because he kept it there. That's how we learned what was acceptable. Y'all didn't know that? That's why he drove the man and his wife out. It wasn't acceptable. That's not acceptable. Now he asking me to do something. When have I learned anything that he did like? In the garden. And he put somebody to do what? To keep it and to dress it. So it would know I want it to stay just like this. When I come back, I want to find it just like this. I don't need you to do no extra decorating. This is how I want to find it when I left it. Just like I left it, this is how I want to find it. This is good. This is good. Listen what else?
Which is your reasonable service.
Which is your expectation. That's the expectation he got for you. That's reasonable. When he saw what every one of those elements would do, that was reasonable. They could do it. He saw that the grass could bring forth more grass. That was reasonable. It could do it. It ain't asked you to do nothing outside your expectation. I expect you to do that. I saw the tree, the seed, and I said, you can do this. That's what I'm expecting from you. The purpose of giving you a man to live without sin, I'm expecting you to do the same thing. And it's reasonable. We're trying to build a relationship. And what was the purpose of putting the man here with everything? Everything the man saw, he said, this is how I want it. You think he just put me down? Lean to your own understanding. All I want you to do when you go through the garden is think before you react. He taught him. Yeah. That's what he did. He taught him. That was the whole purpose he put him in. He taught him. He just showed that man. How you gonna know of every tree? So he got to know the difference. He's got to know the difference. Otherwise, you're gonna get confused. It all look alike. He has to know how to distinguish. You keep asking yourself why you commit sin because you don't know. You think you know. Do you know? It's written in Naveen, they should all be taught of Elohim. Right? So in the garden, when he put them in, he didn't teach him. Of every tree you can freely eat, or the other one you can't. Just taught him in the dietary law. Put him in there so he could dress. So the man wasn't taught to keep it. But then when he called the man, what happened? So when we learned, he didn't learn. He said, every each day learn, come to me. It's written not they all going to be taught. Everybody not going to comprehend. Everybody not comprehend. That's why a lot of you guys find yourself in this transitional state, where you're not getting where you got to be. And then you find just like Cuff did. He just told them, he beseech you therefore, a king by the mercies of Elohim, that you present your bodies a living, kudash, and acceptable, which is your reasonable, and be not conformed. They just asked him where he wanted to feed this. What did he say? He said no. They asked him again. He said, you were with him. He denied again. And after that, he started lying and started taking oaths just like they did. They're going to tell you he was cursing. All the man did was sit here and started swearing to he wasn't connected to the man. Because you know what he did? He conformed himself to this world. They denied him. That's how he denied him. Oh, yeah, you could deny him too, just like you do when you're at work or you're at other places. That's why I try to teach y'all about getting your own. Because y'all's got too much pressure. It's hard when everybody doing something, you trying to do something different. Then somebody pull you and they over everybody and they start saying, somebody at this company is not a team player. There are some people in the corporation. You know where this thing going. Yeah. Yep, I know it. I know I'm one. Now you finna get up and do like Cuff now. You're gonna start swaying just like the rest of them people trying to fit in with them. That's how they break a lot of people. It is that pressure. It's hard for a lot of people to get their own mind and kind of stay with stuff and don't let other people influence them off. Just being honest. It's easy to take on somebody else's identity than your own. It's easy to be a try to get some, you know what I'm saying, get a bunch of stuff put in and then just leave. Y'all don't get it? Leave. Wait, huh? What do you think they got going? You just put on leave. You're going to have to go. Where you going you put on leave? 999,269 more of them. In the kid out of the mouth of babe. I mean, what the people got to look at what you going to do. You don't put on leave, you got to go. These people been in the military. What you did when you took leave? You had to go. I don't know which is easier. They know what they were going to do and they put them leaves on the man. No, y'all finna go, huh? You don't start conforming like them. What else you going to do but leave? That is true. And you see what happened when pressure got on him? He had to conform to the rest of them. Now they looked at, he not one of them. He talks just like we do. We be swaying and stuff too. And the whole time you find out that's what a lot of time happens with people. So it takes something to be strong-minded and to understand what the book said, and be not unwise, but understanding what the will of Elohim is. That's what happens a lot of when you become unwise and you don't know. And you get yourself in a lot of hurtful decisions that people do and try to fit, just like these different cult settings, a religious group. You got all kinds of earring and nose, earring man, earring all. People are always trying to find stuff that don't make no sense in this. I don't know why folks want to go piss up their body doing stuff. They're trying to obey everything, trying to claim they're obeying. So I don't know why people just don't obey, just take their time, just walk straight. And do that book further, purify your soul. Put a hole through that old life. That's just man. When they put a hole through and they put an earring, the man did. He was a slave. And he was certified he loved his master. Same thing they do now, they love their master. If I have them pierced up everywhere, sticking stuff in everything, other than getting themselves right. We got to focus on the right thing. Let's get this right first. That stuff people want to kind of get themselves into, the first thing, let's get this inner one man first. Let's build a relationship. We build a relationship, everything else will fix itself. Y'all all right? Let's checking. Let's see something. Yes, Yahoo. $57. Send it about 57.11. Oh, and get me Abarim. Matter of fact, before you get me into this, get me Ukanon. Eight. 8 and 27. St. John, they'll call it. We got to fix this to where we know we get a confidence that we got a relationship and not just a fictional relationship. That's what we should want. I mean, you got everybody out here. You got a lot of different teachers, a lot of different religions. There's a lot of things, the choice out here and chance out here. I'm really not trying to take no chance with my salvation. I really want to make sure if there's a way I'm going to follow, I want to make sure I follow this thing right. I want to see this thing to the end. That's for me now. Everybody different. They've been working with me for 20-something years, though. Been working with me for 20. Ain't been in no scandal yet. Ain't none of these sudden done pull them out from their drawers yet. And these boys and these boys and the kids, you ain't got to worry about nothing. So it's safe, too. It'll be hard. I just keep my mind set on what I know I got to do. Just being honest. It's just, you got to be honest. I tell it all the time, but people don't realize you got to be honest. Ain't always about everything, you know. You just got to be honest. That's what hurt a whole lot. Even he told him the two men sat and prayed, one prayed how he was giving justification, how he would not like the publican and sinner. But then he talked about one of them that sat and said, have mercy on him, said a sinner. He asked him, who was more justified? You want to be justified. First of all, know what state you're in, then admit you need help and know where you're at, then let's come up from there. That's the whole purpose you coming. Once you realize where you're at, it's time to move from there. You can't stay there. When Adam sinned, what did he do? What did Yahuwah? He hid. What did Yahuwah come to do? He came to call him out from among the trees. That's what he came to do. He told him to come out from among them. And you don't believe what he told him to do. You know what he made for them before they left? He wouldn't let them leave with them leaves. Because you're going to go back. Don't make sense. That's what he do for you when he call you out. That's amazing. Even he talked about getting, he told me he was going to say that 3, right quick, pick up at 3:16, Kazum. 3 and 15, Kazum, they call it revelation. They call it revelation. Tell you I'm proud of your new hair. Joker said, 2 more payment. Then they said he made that last pay, gonna give him a little front lace at the top. They said it's gonna come, say it's gonna be slapping. They say it come with battery. They say it's gonna be wet. They say and they call it the felt. They said that thing gonna be say got battery going to carry that thing light up at night. It just slap around in the front. Y'all all right? You better get that thing caught no umbrella and the wind start blowing. He gonna be in trouble. This is Kazum chapter 3 at verse 15. Listen to the book.
I know thy works.
And what else?
That thou art neither cold nor hot.
But what happened?
I would that thou wert cold or hot.
I tell you the same thing. Some of y'all got that same ruach, got that same spirit. Like that, you gotta be, I don't know why. He said, man, be one way or the other. Can't mix it up, can't mix it. For to mix it up, you gotta be one way or the other. Listen.
So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot,
what he saying?
I will spew thee out of my mouth.
What happened?
Because thou sayest, I am rich,
and what?
Increase with goods.
What happened?
And have need of nothing.
What happened?
And knowest not that thou art wretched and miserable,
what else?
And poor,
and
blind,
what happened?
And ara.
Listen.
I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire.
For what reason?
That thou mayest be rich.
And do what?
And white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed.
See that? What happened?
And that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear.
And tell me what happened, son.
And anoint thine eyes with eye salve.
For what reason?
That thou mayest see.
See that? It said when they ate the fruit, it said their eyes were open. He's trying to transform us now. So you got to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. He's trying to put you back in a state. Sometimes, you know, I mean, as a Christian, I didn't know what kind of state I was in. I didn't know I was blind and naked and wretched. I really didn't. You ain't got to come. I won't commit no adultery then. There's no Christian either. Now, when I set my mind to say live right, they call it. But a lot of times you have some things right, but you can still be wrong. So our goal is to do exactly what he said. He's giving us counsel, which is a recommendation for course of behavior. Y'all got it? Just like when they came to Yucatan immersion. Can you imagine hearing that? Found out you were blind and naked and wretched. What would he counsel them to do? 3 and 7. Y'all all right? Matayahu, 3 and 7. Goodness. We just heard Kazun tell us something. I felt like it was pretty good. Can you imagine that? He said these people in there were blind and naked, which means he had to cry aloud and spare not to tell them that. That's something to tell somebody. They're naked and you wretched and you broke. That's a lot to tell somebody. But what you trying to do? You're trying to show them their transgression. You're trying to show them their sin. Then you're trying to offer them something as a relief. Let's see. Redeem. Redeem. Redeem is what you're trying to do. Which would be similar to a gain or regain. or even you trying to make up for a future aspect. I already said you need to be redeemed. We were looking for that. We should have been looking for it. Y'all know that? Just three and something. Come on, pick it up. Now we got to do some work right quick. Let me see how it's going to work out. You got Matthew 3:7. Don't give me Yeshayahu. Let's see. 44. Yahoo. Let's see. Let's see how it work out. Listen to the book.
But when he saw many of the Pharisees and Sadducees come to his immersion,
What did he do?
he said unto them, O generation of vipers, who hath warned you to flee from the wrath to come?
What you want him to do?
Bring forth therefore fruits meet for repentance.
See that? He just gave them an opportunity to get right. He just showed them their sin. Then he just showed them their way out. He didn't tell them they couldn't get it. He didn't tell them they couldn't get immersed, did he? Not in that state, but he just gave them an opportunity to get it right. If you can start producing, just like an art should do, then you can be immersed. Listen what happened.
And think not to say within yourselves,
Did you do what?
we have Abraham to our Abba.
What happened?
For I say unto you, that Elohim is able of these stones to raise up children unto Abraham.
So talk to me.
And now also the axe is laid unto the root of the trees.
So why would you cut a tree down? And not producing fruit. We learned that from Barashid. See, he get them an opportunity to let them know, the man going to cut you down. I just told you to bring forth fruit. I just told you, call you Nafat. I just call you Nakash, which is the serpent. The serpent was known for deception, for deceiving. I just told you deceivers. That you're just full of deception. Then I just told you to bring forth pari, fruit, which meet for repentance, something that he will accept, something that's appropriate. So everything in the garden, he found that to be appropriate. He said it was good. That's ta'ud. That'll work. I like that. That'll work. And a lot of times we be trying to do stuff, and a lot of times we don't really know what he likes. That's what hurt a lot of us, because we'll assume. We'll start doing other curricular activity people try to do, and they ain't what he asked you to do. That's what hurt us a lot of times. A lot of stuff we try to, I didn't ask you to do that, though. I just want you to do what I asked you to do. I showed you. Let's hope what you got. Pick me up. Mikyah. They call it Micah, chapter 6. Make it 6 and 4. Let's with that. They call it Micah, Mikyah. 6 and 4. I don't want to hold me Barashit. 2 and 16. Listen to the book.
For I brought thee up out of the Beth of Mitzrayim.
And then what?
Redeemed thee.
Huh? So it's your family just did. Redeemed, he was making it for a future, he was making it for a fall. Y'all didn't know that? Stuff like this ain't important to y'all, is it? It should be. He was making up for a fault. That's how important words are for you that you don't know about. In fact, he would tell you about redeeming you. He was making up for a future fault aspect. It was a future fault. He seen coming, and he was making up for that. That's why he was redeeming you. All right, don't worry about it. Listen to the book.
And redeemed thee out of the Beth of Abadim.
Listen.
And I sent before thee Mushah, Aharon, and Miriam.
Mm-hmm.
O my arm, remember now what Balak, Malak of Moab, consulted, and what Balaam the Ben of Beor answered him from Shittim unto Gilgal, that ye may know the Sadiq of Yahuwah.
What happened?
Wherewith shall I come before Yahuwah and bow myself before the high Elohim?
Like what?
Shall I come before him with burnt offerings, with calves of a year old,
Uh-huh.
will Yahuwah be pleased with thousands of rams,
Or whatever.
with 10,000s of nahar of oil?
Yeah.
Shall I give my firstborn for my transgression, the pari of my body for the sin of my nephash?
Hold what you got. 2 and 16. Barashit. In fact, make it 2 and 6 first. Listen.
But there went up a mist from the Arats,
There went
and
up a mist
watered
from
the
the-
whole face of the ground.
And what happened?
And Yahuwah Elohim formed each of the dust of the ground,
Yeah.
and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life,
And what happened?
and each became a living nephash.
What happened?
And Yahuwah Elohim planted a garden eastward in Eden,
What did he do?
and there he put the Ish whom he had formed.
At verse 16.
And Yahuwah Elohim commanded the Ish, saying, Of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat,
What happened?
but of the tree of the knowledge of Ta'ub and Rasha
What happened?
thou shalt not eat of it.
Why?
For in the yom that thou eatest thereof thou shalt surely die.
At Micaiah chapter 6, where you at? Verse 7?
Verse 8.
Let them get it. Micaiah chapter 6 at verse 8. Listen to the book.
He hath shewed thee, O Ish, what is Ta'u.
He didn't show him that. He didn't show Adam that. Everything he made, he said was good. So when he planted God, he took the man, he put him there. You know why? He was showing him what was Ta'u. He was showing him what was Ta'u. All he was doing was showing him what was Ta'u. What happened?
And what doth Yahuwah require of thee?
So it made sense when Yuchanan told him about bringing forth fruit that would meet for repentance. He was showing him what did he require. He was showing him what he required. I beseech you, therefore, Akeem, by the mercy of Elohim, that you present your bodies a living Kudash. He done showed you. So you've been shown. What does Yahuwah require? Let's see what he wants him to do.
But to do Sadak,
See that? That's all he wanted to do. Do what was right. Or be just. Do justly. What else happened?
and to Ahab Rakam,
See that right? The love mercy. And this is what he wanted to do.
walk humbly with thy Elohim.
When he heard him coming, he ran and hid himself. Y'all all right? What happened?
Yahuwah's voice crieth unto the city,
See that? And tell him what happened.
the Ish of wisdom shall see thy Shem.
Uh-huh.
Hear ye the rod,
And
who hath appointed it.
that's what I'm trying to get the people to say. Isn't that right? That's what we're trying to teach them to do. I want you to do what's just. To love mercy. And to walk humbly with me. That's all I want you to do. Y'all all right? But people don't want to do that. For whatever reason, people exalt themselves. And you know the book even told you to humble yourself. What was it? Under? What was he going to do?
Exalt you.
But when they saw that the tree was good for food, wanted to be desired to make one wise, she took and she ate and she gave it to him. He didn't eat. All you got to do is wait. He'll exalt you in due time. But I have a lot of time people exalt themselves before time. That's how I do. Just humble yourself under the mighty hand of Elohim. He'll exalt you in due time. That's what Yahushua did. Whole purpose of him coming, he had to humble himself. Let's see what happened. At the 4th chapter of the book of Galatians, 4:1. Let's see what it's saying. Galatians 4:1. Listen to the book.
Now I say that the heir, as long as he is a child,
I wonder what that means. Somebody heir, somebody gonna come in possession of something. Right? They have women that call them heirs. They've inherited something. And he just told you about the heir. As long as he is
a child,
he does what?
differeth nothing from a servant,
But is,
though he be a don of all,
see that? Though he be a don of all. Tell me what he is.
but is under tutors and
Like,
governors,
humble yourself under the mighty hand of. Humble yourself under the mighty hand. Under the hand. Under the hand. You know, they took that palm and slapped it in their face. Got to humble yourself. Got to humble yourself. A lot of stuff we couldn't take because we ain't humble people like that. Can you imagine that? Humble yourself under the hand up. And you ain't gonna believe what he do. 3 days, he'll get you up. Pick him up at 6-1. Husha. They call it Hosea. This ain't what y'all come to hear, though, is it? I mind them people that went to Mars. That's what they teach space. Hebrew Israelites, the only reason they're good, they're good for a laugh. You know, Paul stood in the midst of Mars here. People don't know they did space travel. Paul went to Mars. Man stood on Mars. They had on no outfit or nothing. They fired gravity and everything. Told them, you men of Mars, take us to your leader. Take us to your leader. He met Robert Williams. Remember that? Because that when he was Mark from Ark. Y'all remember that Mark from Ark? Who remember that? 909. That man messed us up when we were kids. I thought that white man had really came in that thing. Some stuff they shouldn't show kids. Then they came out, he had a baby. Him and Mindy had a baby. I mean, it was an old joker. And he supposed to grow back to a baby. Man, that white man, I think they got to be dead. He ain't never get little either. That when the show got nasty. I was trying to figure how they birthed out a fat old white man. He supposed to got younger. It never happened. Alf messed up a lot of people too. Because he be moving around the room saying how he moved. They showing me a commercial, he just moved. You like, how does the thing move? And you thought the thing was real. They messed up a lot of people. I used to think them judges were real on the Muppets. Y'all remember them two old white judges sit up in the stand? I thought all them folk were real. They messed up a lot of folk, man. Them folk got to pay for that. They got to pay for that. Them and the people that made, whoever made them Santa Claus. Listen to the book.
Come and let us return unto Yahuwah, for he hath torn, and he will heal us. He hath smitten, and he will bind us up.
Pay this up. He said, come. Let me hear what we want to do again.
And let us return unto Yahuwah.
Y'all hear this? Return unto. What that mean we return? We either left or he cast us away. So now we find out he told us to come. This is a conversation of coming back. Come and let us return
unto Yahuwah.
And what happened?
For he hath torn.
Can you imagine that? You ain't going to believe what happened. 27, 36, Matayahu. 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 $16.20. We'll come back. Listen to the book.
And sitting down, they watched him there and set up.
Don't bad me up. I'm sorry. Make it 32. 27:32. Matayahu. They call Matthew. And Matayahu 16:20. Listen to the book.
And as they came out, they found an Ish of Cyrene, Simon by name. Him they compelled to bear his cross.
What happened?
And when they were come unto a place called Golgotha, that is to say, a place of a skull, they gave him vinegar to drink mingled with gall, and when he had tasted thereof, he would not drink. Mm-hmm. And they crucified him and parted his garments, casting lots, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the Nabi.
Wow.
They parted my garments among them, and upon my vesture did they cast lots.
That's good. Let's show that you can go around. Who got 16? 16:20. Then I need Husha, chapter 6 and verse 1. Husha, this is the book of Matayahu, chapter 16, verse 20. And going back to 6 and 1 in the book of Husha. You got it? Listen.
Then charged he his Mathetas that they should tell no Ish that he was Yahushua HaMashiach. Mm-hmm. From that time forth began Yahushua to show unto his Mathetas how that he must go unto Jerusalem and suffer many things of the elders and chief Kohanim and scribes.
What happened?
And be killed and be raised again the third yom.
Uh-huh.
Then Cuff took him and began to rebuke him, saying, Be it far from thee, Adam. This shall not be unto thee.
What happened?
But he turned and said unto Cuff, Get thee behind me, Satan.
Why?
Thou art an offense unto me.
Why?
For thou savorest not the things that be of Elohim, but those that be of Anashim.
That's good. At the 6th chapter of the book of Hosea 6:1. Listen to the book.
Come,
Who?
and let us return unto Yahuwah.
Sit down. Come, let us return unto Yahuwah. What happened?
For he hath torn.
Talking about when they took his clothes. That's what they did. They took his clothes. They tore him. He is torn. What happened?
And he will heal us.
Listen.
He hath smitten,
Uh-huh.
and he will bind us up.
Because that's what they did. They wound up slapping him in his face. Had to humble himself under the mighty hand of Elohim. Listen what has happened.
After 2 Yamim
What happened?
will he revive us.
What happened?
In the 3rd Yom
What happened?
he will raise us up.
I'm trying to tell you, he'll do it. Humble yourself under the mighty hand of Elohim, and he'll raise you up in due time. He said they had to took it. See, he got him up in due time. He watched this man torn. He watched him tear. Then he watched this man sit here and saw it was going to heal us. Pick him up in the book of Yeshayahu 53:1. Yeshayahu 53:1. Listen to the book.
Who hath believed our report?
See that? That's why I'm trying to tell him. You know why he's going to ask you that? He asked y'all a question. Who had did what?
Who hath believed our report?
He ain't going to believe what happened. He had asked them, who do Anashim say that I am? And started naming people. And he asked Cuff. And Cuff told him who he was. He the Mashiach. The Ben Elohim. And he told Cuff who he was. He was the Ben Yuna. So when they went through all this and went over who was who, and he told me he's going to give him the keys, after that he began to show him what he was going to suffer. How he's going to be delivered over, and the chief Kohanim, and then what they were going to do. How he's going to be persecuted and be killed by him. And the 3rd Yom, he said he was going to be raised up. You know what Cup told him? 53:1 of Yeshayahu. Listen.
Who hath believed our report?
And?
To whom is the arm of Yahuwah revealed?
See that? That's why he had to make him naked in the 52nd chapter, that same book. He said he's going to have to make better arm. See, he already saw what he was going to have to do. I'm going to have to let these people see it. That's the only way they're going to believe. He already knew this. Come on, man. He already done told you we're going to do it at the end. Yeshayahu asking you right here, who had believed our report, and to whom
is the arm of Yahuwah revealed?
At 52:10. Same book. Listen.
Yahuwah hath made bare his Kudash arm.
He had to do it. I don't know why you going to believe it. He already saw it. I had to declare the end at the beginning. He just told you what happened. He went and started telling him. He said he told him what's going to happen and what thing he going to suffer. And the man just told me ain't going to happen. So you know what I'm going to have to do? Go back to 52:10. I'm going to have to make better on. See that? He declared the end at the beginning. I'm going to have to make it better. That's the only way you're going to know. I'm going to have to uncover him so you'll see who it is. It wasn't about stripping their clothes. He had to open their eyes so that their eyes were holding to this shit, not knowing. I don't know what to tell you. Back at 53:1. Listen to the book.
Who hath believed our report?
And to whom
is the arm of Yahuwah revealed?
Tell me what happened.
For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant.
And he just told you what the plant going to do. You didn't believe what he told you about the plant. He going to grow up before them. What was it again?
He shall grow up before him as a tender plant.
Can I hear it one more time?
For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant.
Pick me up at Barashit 2:1. Y'all just heard that? I don't believe they heard it. Barashit 2:1. Listen to the book.
Thus, the Shamayim and the Arats were finished.
Y'all see that? He said we're finished. Listen what happened.
And all the host of them.
And all the host of them.
And on the 7th Yom, Elohim ended his work, which he had made. And he rested on the 7th Yom from all his work, which he had made.
What happened?
And Elohim barak the 7th Yom and consecrated it, because that in it he had rested from all his work, which Elohim created and made.
What happened?
These are the Tuledath of the Shamayim and of the Arats when they were created in the Yom that Yahuwah Elohim made the Arats and the Shamayim.
You see that? This is the generation of them right here. In the Yom when he had made them. What happened?
And every plant of the field.
You say every what?
Plant
every
of the
what?
field. Plant of the field.
When?
Before it was in the Arats.
I don't know what the folk thinking. He gonna grow up before him as a tender plant. He tried to tell you before it was in the field. Yahuwah told you what he already said. He said he foresaw Yahuwah always. So he's on my right hand and I should not be moved. He gonna grow up before me like a tender plant. Don't worry about them. They sleep. Pit the 3 and 3. Where you left off? It just told you how you gonna grow up. Then you just went to Barashit. It just told you before it even got in there. Don't worry about it. Listen to the book.
For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant,
See that? And what happened?
and as a root out of a dry ground.
Listen.
He hath no form nor comeliness, and when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him.
There ain't nothing beautiful about no man's face getting bucked up, slapped up, and getting kicked, getting hit. Nothing about that we want it. We don't want it. What happened? They taught us he was ugly, which don't make sense. He came out of the lineage of Dawood. All you seen Dawood, all they called how beautiful they were. Don't even make sense. They taught me, they had me think he was ugly. He was ugly, man. That's a lie. They taught, I don't know what he got these ugly folk just popped on the scene. Man, I saw these ugly folk, man. I don't know what these folk think about. A doctor walk around that man and them folk mouth cool, and she was beautiful to look at. All these ugly folk now coming from. I'm gonna say, I hope so, because you so ugly. So it's bad now. Folk brag on being ugly. Man, for all they kept talking about how good looking the man was. How fair, so rock, beautiful. Y'all folk come here like bucket of mess. Folk didn't even care no more. Man, you had lived. They told me she had no body, but she had a face on her. Recall, they said, man, she had a banging body. You didn't put that in the song. You be talking about her. That one had a banging body. That's when the first time we learned what a bad mama jamma was. She's a bad mama jamma. Ooh. Just as fine as she can be. Hey! They don't know nothing about that. That's for their time, isn't that right? Her body measurement. Ain't always been to synagogue. Ain't that right? That woman got attention. Won't come on out scuffed up. Listen, I'm being honest. Built up, talking about, man, we wear these old clothes. He could see she had a banging body. With what she had on. He told her, he said, listen, Leah was pretty, but he like, man, I suddenly got the money. Brick house came out. Niggas start building with straw. When she man start building with brick, they said, that's a brick house. She's a brick house. They don't know nothing about that. Ain't that right? All them songs popped out back then. They don't know nothing about that. Oh, come on, like it's a sin now to build your body. You get fat when you say you're supposed to get fat and funky. I don't know where you get that from. Ain't that right? I don't know where folk come up with that stuff from. Throw yourself away. Take your body and just shoot the hell out of it. Boom! Just blow that thing up. Everywhere. What folk done now? They never made a man like being said. It don't even matter no more. All right, listen to the book. Listen.
He is despised and rejected of Anashim.
See that? He is despised and rejected of Anashim. Tell him what has happened.
And each of sorrows and acquainted with grief.
Listen what happened.
And we hid, as it were, our faces from him.
What happened?
He was despised, and we esteemed him not.
Listen what has happened.
Surely he hath borne our griefs.
Listen.
And carried our sorrows.
Listen.
Yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of Elohim, and afflicted.
See that? He humbled himself under the mighty hand of Elohim. Listen what has happened.
But he was wounded for our transgressions.
Why was he wounded?
For our transgressions.
And tell him what has happened.
He was bruised for our iniquities.
And tell him what has happened, Brandon.
The chastisement of our shalom was upon him.
And
with his stripes we are healed.
He just told her he going to heal her. Just told her he going to heal her. See, he wanted who believed it. That's all they kept trying to find out. Who believed it? And we went around saying, Why they had to beat on my Jesus? They ain't have to hit him. You just like Carl. You care for the things unashamed. You don't care about the things concerning him. Because we had to understand it. That's the difference of when he told you it's written in Naba'in, they all going to be taught it. Every is therefore they had heard and learned, he'll come. That's why you can return. That man just told you so. Listen, let us return to him. But these folks felt like it wasn't nothing to return to. No, who don't believe the report? That's why people not coming back. That's exactly why they're not coming back. And they ain't been taught. Well, they been taught. You ain't learned nothing. Then when he told you the 4th chapter, they barely put you in the same mistake. These 4 and 19 of Ephesians. I heard that bad Mama Jama boy so long. Some joke told me, I got one in the car, preacher. Want me to play it for you? That's all you got on record. 4 and 17, Ephesians. Listen to the book.
This I say, therefore, and testify in the Adon, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk, in the vanity.
You said be not conformed to this. What you say?
That ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk.
Would y'all believe what I just said? Y'all think I added that? Because I mean they're going to be conformed. That they henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk. And you know, even Shaul had a problem with us. When he started to withdraw himself, he said, we being Yehudi, and we walk as the Gentile. Well, he said, why are we trying to compare them to walk like us? Don't make sense if we're going to live like them and try to tell them to live like us. That don't make sense. Well, we live like that's how we walk. Isn't that right? Hold what you got. Pick me up 2 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 1. Let's see what the book said. First Thessalonians. But this is the second time we done read it. Because we done read it before. Isn't that right? At least. Isn't that right? So we know we done read it at least one time. So I was saying get it the second time. Because we don't have the exact. Do anybody know the exact number how many times we done read it? But we know we done read it one time. So the second time now, because we don't know the right number, of 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 1. Ain't going to be wrong. Ain't that right? Listen to the book.
Furthermore then, we beseech you, Akim, and exhort you by the Adon Yahusha, that as ye have received of us how ye ought to walk, and to please Elohim,
for what?
So ye would abound more and more.
For what reason?
For ye know what commandments we gave you by the Adon Yahusha.
That's all we're looking at. This 4th chapter of the book of Ephesians, 4 and 17. So y'all tell me that Adam didn't know how to walk. Are we to believe he didn't know how to walk? To please Elohim. Are we to believe that he didn't know how to walk? Are we to believe it was all speculation? Because he put the man there and he showed the man. So he knew how to walk. And he knew how to please him. So he would abound. Because he know what commandments he gave him. Listen, this is 4 and 17, Ephesians. Listen to the book.
This I say, therefore, and testify in the Adon, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk.
So, you see that? Listen.
In the vanity of their mind.
See that? Same thing we saw. When you look at the same behavior that Kaur took on, same amount of Gentile. And then it went on her mind. Started reasoning rationally, looking at it's another way outside of what he told you. You know the book told us in the book of Marshall Lee? There is a way. It did seem right. But the end thereof, it was death. It did. It is a way. So I'm telling you, ain't no other way. You don't be lying. Ain't no other way to salvation, but there's another way. He would have never told you in 6:16 to stand ye in the plural and see. Then told you to ask where he is. We learned good from the garden. That's how we learned. First time we learned about Taus in the garden, didn't we? How this operate, this is what he like. how this operate, how this grow, how this factor together. This is what he like. This is what he good with. And he told me to mimic. That's all we do is mimic. Always say it in the business world, shadow him. Shadow him. Right? That's how he did. He told you to shadow the tree, shadow the plant, shadow it. Everything he told you good, shadow it. Huh? He told you to shadow it. Cheat and follow, shadow it. So that's why though fool, now he done shows it should be impossible. Especially if you shadow it, if you actually learn what you've been taught. If you've been taught and you learn, there's going to be a lot of defects. Listen to the book.
Having the understanding darkened.
See that? Dangerous. Having your understanding darkened. Talk to me.
Being alienated from the Kai of Elohim.
Come out when they were put out of the garden, and there was the Malachite sitting there with a sword. You know what that means? They were kept away from it. You understand that? Understand what dark? Their eyes were open. I said they were darkened. Not only that, now you've been alienated. You've been cut off. You can't get back. That's why you got to be careful about all these different ways. You got to be careful about all these different concepts. You don't want to put yourself out there before you know it. Now you're alienated. Huh? You know when they tell you about an alien here? First time I learned about an alien was on TV. Martians and stuff like that. I didn't know a human being could be alien. That's new stuff. They didn't call a human being alien back when I was coming. Y'all remember, how many of y'all older who remember that? They didn't call them aliens back then, did they? I know where she from. They just called them. It was just two words, slave and master. Never alien. Never slave and master. Mississippi. That's two words. Isn't that right? And then Mr. Billy, master. She thought Billy was his last name. Isn't that right? That's bad. Don't worry about it. Mississippi's just way back. That's one of them. Any one of us could have been born in slavery. I appreciate Mr. Yahuwah. He got us right over the line. I mean, as long as you escape, it don't matter. You know what? We were concerned about y'all. We were like, knock on y'all. We want to know how y'all were doing when y'all escaped. We're glad to see y'all making him. I'm just being honest with you. I wouldn't want to be born in Mississippi, Alabama. Especially not in no 60s and no 70s. I mean, 60s and no 50s. And in no 40s. Not no Mississippi. Not with them clan. Them old dirt clan crackers down there, boy. Early 80s? I don't know about that. I ain't never lost nothing in Mississippi. I got all mine out. I don't know if I got no relatives in Mississippi. If I is, I done cut them on. Huh? Well, then, he said North Carolina for real. Dave from Jersey. He from here. He was with Luke. Luke from Jersey. Wow. Yeah, Bub. Yeah, and Dave, Bub, and Luke. Listen to the book.
Through the ignorance that is in them because of the blindness of their lob.
See that? They say that, the blindness in their heart. Listen, the inward part, they got no light. Listen.
Who being past feeling have given themselves over unto lasciviousness to work all uncleanness with greediness.
What we learned about people like that? About Rashid, what about them? That's right. Look at them people. Them folk gave themselves over to all kind of wicked, ill behavior. So we don't see a lot of this stuff he taught, even tell the Gentile. People know about this stuff. These historians, everybody know their way of right. This ain't nothing. Everybody in religion, you can't find none of these people. Anything the Indians believe in, you can't find that junk. Everybody know our stuff still stayed and still stand today. They still got pyramids to go back to show that you can go back and dig through and see our stuff. None of the other people got nothing. Nobody. Everybody know our way of right. Everybody know that there was an Elohim that came and delivered the arm. Everybody knows it. Ain't a people on their planet don't know about us. We so stupid. We don't went following the old rotten piece of shit. That's right. Found some Indians kissing rats. I was on a little naked boy. We don't follow no junk like that. Buddha sitting around butt naked. Everybody trying to do our stuff. They ain't understand our book. Why you thought the other religion about getting naked? Having sex. Everybody trying to learn our stuff. They don't understand it though. Our process is clean. These 4 ways been riding this eel. Everybody done took it and went the wrong way with it. Ain't that right? He done told her let our king Ahab continue. They don't say and start butt banging each other. How we supposed to treat one another. Men supposed to have a care for one another. Ain't that right? And when you had Abraham and you had Luke, he said, now there came a distinction between them, came a contention between them. He said, no, man, we are key. We don't have to. You go this way, I go that. Whichever way you go, I go the opposite way. This shouldn't be among us. That came law from us. He told us, you should not go and fight your Akeem. These crackers done got in the midst of us and messed us up, got us fighting and killing one another. Hating one another. None of these niggas got enough say that run me down to go get these crackers that train them. I ain't took nothing from none of these retarded niggas.
That's right.
One been trying to help them. Stupid bastard.
That's right.
Go and fight the one made you a stupid bastard.
That's right.
I ain't responsible for taking their jobs and messing their home. They messed up because you been fighting them dumb, silly crackers.
Yeah.
Seeing them robbed and ready to keep putting you in that job mentality. I'm trying to get you free.
That's right.
Every time they can't do the free, I came to deliver you.
Yeah.
I ain't coming to offer nobody no job. I came to deliver you.
Yeah.
Ain't that right? Well, I ain't trying to come get them folks. Man, I know how to get us. Well, we'll be in a better working status than him. He said, no, I came to deliver you.
Yeah.
I came to get you off these people's jobs.
Right.
Get out of people. You get strong, we get out of him. I ain't going to do it make it worse. They don't like that. They say, why you got to talk about that? I try to free you. When your mind been darkened by these crackers. You keep thinking these crackers got something. These crackers ain't got nothing. These crackers change the dollar on a whim. Go stack your money. They'll go change the face, change the value, do whatever they want to do. You can't play with these crackers. They always got a game gonna make a fool out of you. Don't believe nothing they tell you. Any one of these business can shut down anytime with your money. Different between me and you, I'm gonna know I'm going broke before you gonna know. Y'all hear me? They ain't gonna close no doors on me. I don't know where my money at. I'm gonna know before anybody where my money at and how I lost it. Sitting around here, no unemployment, I look like no sap sucker. I know these folks lie. All of them lie. These people ain't got no money. The government broke. These people buying planes, they broke. There's no business can spend out double what they bringing in. Less than what they bring. They're spending twice as much as they bringing in. Any fool know this is a bad system. And you count this cracker tell you the economy better when the people that made this economy, they broke? Matter of time. These service people get these government, y'all ain't going to be getting them checked much longer. They got to go ahead and tell y'all the truth. They ain't got it. They got to go and formulate a law, a war, or let another plane fly and hit a building and tell a lie that was your money with, like they did with George Bush. They can't justify what a dollar at. They ain't got no gold. They're going to let them hit Fort Knox. Don't believe nothing these crackers say. They all liars. I'm talking to the ones in government. That ain't every individual person. I don't believe every white person wrong. I don't believe that. I don't believe every black person right. That the record stay. I don't believe every nigga good. Some of them is A at the end, and the rest of them is ER. Ain't never met a good ER. You all right?
Yes, sir.
I don't like that, do you? Like going to the emergency room, ain't a good one. All of them got nasty and filth. You go to Piedmont, everywhere, just like Grady. Folks ran Grady down for you. All of them Grady Hospital. And the truth, you got that years ago, you to go to them clean white hospital. No, all of them, nothing but another Grady Hospital. White people lose you, make a fool out. You got you running somewhere, that same cracker. Northside done killed more babies than anybody. Grady raised them up. Grady raised a nigga. Nigga dead, he ain't been dead, they bring him straight, he just died. They said, put him on there, get that wall, we'll get to him. You know the only people that, you know who I don't believe? When they say, whoever believe our report, Grady Hospital don't believe it. Grady Hospital like, we do that all the time. I'm telling you, when I got shot, they rolled me in there. They didn't put me on, they rolled me, they put me right. They said, put him on the wall, we got an emergency. They let me sit for 18 hours, just roll me by the wall. I was sitting with a bullet bleeding. I felt like, man, we got a murder. Slap the IV, a homeless man came by and seen about me. I ain't lying. He was drunk, looking, stinking, looking, walking in. I ain't what that man done. Hey, man, we busy. Everybody helping. They had jumping everybody here. They let homeless people water. Listen, they didn't put me in no room. They're like, man, they're like, we got emergency down here. People been hurt. A bullet lodged in the joint. I ain't seen a room. I came in that ambulance, think I'm finna go in here. Probably, you see them arcs and start out right there that wall. All kind of folks, little kids throwing tater chips on everything. Great Hopper, you don't get no room for nothing like that. You gotta have your eye plucked out your head. Your neck got to be cut off. Them folks don't do that. Granny don't wear something on the road. That's hallway surgery. They don't even bring, they be like, that scalp. They like, Coke bottle. Psh, start cutting. Brother Hospital don't waste no time. You don't get no room. Nigga, you finna be dead. No fret dead either. They put a thermometer out, be like, that nigga been dead 20 Throw him in the hallway. We got time. They got real emergencies in there, man. Listen to the book. They don't like that, do they? That's my hospital. I'm dead. Take me to greater. I went, behold! Well, don't stand behind me because that gown, it don't lock too good. I'm in the front. I'm going to make about the ash. That's right. That greater hospital. That's right. Greater hospital. 999,000. They probably about at least $1 million back. Listen to the book.
But ye have not so learned Mashiach.
See that? He done told you. Ye have not so learned the Mashiach. Tell him what happened.
If so be
What happened?
that ye have heard him and have been taught by him,
Tell him what happened.
as the Amat is in Yahusha,
Tell him what happened, son.
that you put off concerning the former conversation.
See that? Won't be conformed. You'll be transformed. See, if you've been taught by him, he's going to tell you what, this going to start in the mental. This what, anything a man do, he's going to have to believe it first. That's like working out. You ain't got in your mind, you don't work out, you ain't going to do it. If it ain't in your mind, you're not going to do it. That's how important he realized. Listen, the mind is one of the most sophisticated things you can get. You look at these computers, y'all get impressed with these little sorry little piece of shit on phones. Stuff don't do nothing. It can't compare to what your mind do. We gave up stuff to get these phones. Yeah. Listen, my mom used to tell me going down, anybody in the country, somebody done died, they call. Listen, I know everybody's number. Go straight that far. I know it was one number 404, 706 down there for the country. They started throwing 6, 7, 8, but you know everything. At one time, then the area code came in, but you remember everybody's number. Yeah. They messed us up. They came in there, everybody phone, your whole life, your diary, your kid's birthday, the phone don't know their kid. They ain't got their phone, don't even know their kid. Hey, mom, they be like, oh, my phone locked. Their phone dead. They're trying to see everything in your phone. You don't even know your kid. Yeah. They don't even know where they stay. Their phone locked. That shut it down. They don't even know how to get home. It's bad. Everything we know, the phone has taken all of our, because these people invent stuff that take away our mind. These phones took the place of the book. Man, it was years ago. If you came to church and you didn't have a Bible, you was a heathen. Them folks brought you a Bible. They be like, I hope you don't burn up. I'm just hypothetical. I hope you don't burn up for service. Because they be like, you came to church and you want folks to see your Bible. You care folks to see that thing. You care that thing. Want folks to slow down, make sure everybody see you got your Bible. You might have had that person. Next time you come back, you know you sinned. Man, I ain't how you know, but them folks down there to read. He said, they had that thing. He said, I'm going to read the first, y'all read the next verse. They call, I didn't know what John was. And then I just playing it. I was saying to myself, how do all these people know how to recite this stuff? Because he'll read the verse. Y'all ain't been one of the Baptists that do that. They'll read the first. Then they say the congregation read the second. Talk, you had your book. Oh, you embarrassed. Just please, somebody look over here. I'm gonna be in trouble. I didn't know I didn't know what an Old Testament or New Testament. I just didn't know what it was. I had no idea how to find nothing in there. You just going through the moment. Them folks, I was so impressed. How these people just know how to? I didn't know. They didn't know nothing. They definitely didn't know nothing. They were really about in the same state I was. But that's what wound up happening. And a lot of times you can sit around and you start faking in order to try to fit in. What we don't want to do is fake to fit in. You know what I'm saying? Or start fictionalizing. That's what happened. Otherwise, instead of me stopping telling somebody, I said, listen, I don't know I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just sitting, and I kept portraying, kept pretending, and you just keep going and you finally get stopped. And then I was honest, I kept coming, hoping. You can hope and keep coming out you want to. It ain't going to happen until somebody can teach you. 8:28, Acts of the Apostle. I'm trying to get ready and get y'all out of here. Acts of the Apostle. Man, you keep blowing that thing. What's going on? You have an extra burger or something? No, that joke is there. That man gonna rat you out. That man will rat you out. That's why I tell him. First time you get on Brandon, tell on that nigga. That's with the A, not the ER. This is Acts of the Apostle 8:28. Listen to the book.
Was returning and sitting in his
Hold on
chariot.
for a minute, stop. Somebody said that I call him a nigga. I said nigga. Because somebody probably hit me at home. Somebody said, did you call him a nigga? So I had to tell my dad. That's with the A, not the ER. All right, continue.
Was returning and sitting in his chariot, read Yeshayahu the Nabi. Then the Ruach said unto Philip, Go near and join thyself to this chariot. And Philip ran thither to him, and heard him read the Nabi Yeshayahu, and said, Understandest thou what thou readest? And he said, How can I, except some east should guide me?
So you see what happened? So you had your understanding darkened. He is reading, coming from the right place, reading in the Bible, and yet, I don't understand what I'm doing. What happened?
And he desired Philip that he would come up and sit with him. The place of the scripture which he read was this.
What happened?
He was led as a sheep to the slaughter,
And
like a lamb dumb before his shearer,
so do what?
opened he not his mouth.
You know what a shear do? They cut. Y'all know that? You know how Yahuwah would look when they took his clothes and cut them up? He looked just like a lamb. A lamb don't have no idea what these people are doing. Just said it, because it can't, you don't see no lamb start, get back, y'all mother, I wish one of y'all, you know, he just said it. He's like, wow, I don't really know what's going on. And that's how he looked. And you know who will understand that? People dealt with shepherds. Otherwise, this don't make no sense. How many of y'all done kept sheep before? Exactly. So you won't understand that. When they get there, they start going, and they start cutting. That lamb sitting here, I don't know what's going on. They just stripping me. They taking off my covering. And that's how he looked. Sometimes people say, I wonder what my Jesus look like. Look like shift. This is what you need to be concerned about if you understood our craft. I've been trying to teach our people how to get a farm. Y'all talk about it. Y'all ain't about it. You ain't about that life. I told y'all we need to get these animals. Otherwise, who understand this? I can imagine. You got to go buy a book about Mary and a little lamb. If we was in our craft, it would make sense. You would see how a sheep look when they get sheared. That's what he told you about him. Now he said he was led as a sheep
To the slaughter, and like a lamb dumb before his shearer, so opened he not his mouth.
Could you imagine a lamb is timid? They got an idea like, they taking me somewhere to kill me? And then the fact that they sit here and just sheared him, but they only sheared him because they getting ready to kill him. So he looking at this and too, they finna strip me. And then they finna kill me. So what did he do?
So opened he not his mouth.
He looked just like he didn't know what was going on. And this is what happened.
In his humiliation,
His what?
his judgment was taken away.
Because they see that? He been stripped. He was stripped. This man done told her what he could do. He was a shopper and he just been stripped down. Can you imagine that? He said, just like a sheep, when you just took his wool off from him. They just took my judgment away from him. Can you imagine that? This man done sat here and done lost his position. He said, this is what you could look like, and you can try to get to understand. How many times you said, I just wonder what it was like for him, what he was going through. This was our crowd. We would know. We would understand this. Daoud kept sheep. Wow, that's bad. You know, he told you what happened. There came a bear and a lion and took one of them. And he had to come and rescue him. You ain't gonna believe who Daoud was. He was like Elohim. Elohim had to come and rescue him. When that bear and that lion came and took it, he had to go and he had to deliver him out. Yeah. He couldn't defend. Can you imagine how that sheep had to look when a bear and a lion just came and snatched you up? Wow. That's how he looked. He was like a sheep led to the slaughter. And like a lamb dumb before the shear, so open he not his mouth. Is it humiliation?
His judgment was taken away.
Tell him what happened.
And who shall declare his generation?
For his who?
His life is taken from the Arats.
And what happened?
And the eunuch answered Philip and said, I pray thee, of whom speaketh the Nabi this? Of himself or of some other ish?
And what happened?
Then Philip opened his mouth and began at the same scripture.
And did what?
And preached unto him Yahusha.
He would have told you the same thing I just told you. Just told him just how he connect. All this was about him. This was about him because we would have understood the behavior of sheep. So he that came along and talked about being a shepherd us and started telling us about he going to set the sheep and telling us about being sheep. What you think we going to do? Let's see what happens. See that 100 division Tahalim? Let's say that what I want. It's been a long time. Tahalim. Let's see what happens. Tahalim. 101. Listen to the book.
Make a joyful noise unto Yahuwah,
Who?
all ye lands.
Serve.
Yahuwah with gladness.
Come.
Before his presence with singing.
With Shareem. What does you want me to do?
Know ye that Yahuwah,
Who is he?
Elohim.
Y'all hear that? Know ye who?
Know ye that Yahuwah, he is Elohim.
Y'all hear that? What I need to know after that?
It is he that hath made us,
and not
we ourselves.
You know what's amazing? It would have to send me back to Barashit. Did Adam make himself? Did he make Ka'ua? You were supposed to know this. It's written in the Naba'in, they all supposed to be taught of him. Kind of give me find them self-made man, huh? Self-made man, self-made woman. The book says you're supposed to know that he made you. He told you that in 126. He said, let us do it. You're supposed to know that. That's part of your law. Listen what else.
We are his arm.
We are his who?
Arm.
What happened?
And the sheep of his pasture.
How was he led? Then you should know about it too then, because you're a sheep. 23:1. Tahalim. Tahalim. Listen to the book.
Yahuwah is my Ra. I shall not want.
What does he do?
He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of Sadiq for his name's sake.
So you say restore? If you restore, that means you give back. What did he give him back? Came back here like he restored his soul. When he breathed in the nostril of Ish, Ish became a Ka'id Nefash, a living soul. He just said he restored mine. He just told y'all he restored it. So who made it? Yahuwah made it. Yahuwah made it. And we're supposed to know who made us. Yahuwah made us. He just told you. Did he say he gave it back to himself? He said, Yahuwah restored it back to me. And you were supposed to know who did it for you. Who made us? I guess the problem, the breakdown comes in, you don't know who made you. You don't know how you made it. You don't know what he formulated, what he put together, or what he desired. And this is why you'll continue to err. That's what he said. He said he made me to lie down, which means he got to humble himself. He make him to lie down. This is what happened.
Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death.
Why?
I will fear no evil.
For what reason?
For thou art with me.
How?
Thy rod and thy staff,
what
they
were you
comfort
supposed
me.
to do to the rod? You were supposed to hear it. You're supposed to hear the rod. He told you to hear the rod and who has appointed it. You're supposed to hear it. That's a chastisement. You ain't believe what happened. The chastisement of his shalom that was our peace. That chastisement. They hit him with a rod. They smote him on the head with it. He understood who it was from, so he had to humble himself. He had to humble himself. You know what man's biggest problem is? Not humbling himself. Man has a humble problem. Now, pride come before a fall. And you know what the book said? Now unto him. And then pride comes just before a fall. Come just before a fall. What else happened?
Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies.
Tell me what happened.
Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over.
So what was he doing? He was crying. What else you do when you get full? Surely.
Goodness and mercy shall follow me all the yamim of my life.
And where you going to stay?
I will dwell in the house of Yahuwah forever.
See that? So all that had to happen in order to get him now. So what does it take for you to get to this position? If he restored, I mean he lost it. So I beseech you, therefore, our King, by the mercy of Elohim, that you present your bodies. Now let me get this straight now. He was led, what was it again, as a sheep?
To the slaughter.
And like a lamb.
Dumb before his shearer.
So open he.
Not his mouth.
Let me get this straight now. I beseech you, therefore, our King, by the mercy of Elohim, that you present your bodies a living kodash, acceptable, which is your reasonable servant. That's what he did. It was reasonable. Because he's going to give it back to you. He told you, if you lay it down, you can pick it up. So now we're looking at what we're going to do. What we're going to do. Mark the perfect east. Behold the upright. That's why I said they should look on him. They had to behold him. And at the end of that man is Shalom. He said, I'm going to dwell in the Beth of Elohim forever. What you trying to do? Let me ask you a question. Where y'all trying to go? What y'all trying to do? That's going to make the difference in what you're being taught. Listen, if you're trying to go to Augusta, don't jump in the car with nobody going 20 west. Listen, the more they drive, the further you're going to get away from Augusta. Augusta 20 east. Are y'all trying to get to the Mount Cool? Y'all need to come on ride. I happen to go that way. But if you ain't trying to go there, you getting old. Because you looking at the man told you, what did he say had to happen? Man, you don't went through the shadows of death. You had to get hit with a rod. All this stuff that had to happen to you. But then he said, look at what happened. Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. Man, I prepared a table for him in the presence of his enemies. Can you imagine that? These folks going to eat you up. I don't know. I guess it depends on what y'all really trying to do. Listen, do me a favor tonight. Been a while. Write down what you got. What you got. Write down what you love and what you'll do for it. It don't take me that long. I got a lot of stuff. I ain't going to hell for none of it. Absolutely not one iota piece of nothing I got. Ain't gonna, family, kinfolks, friend, grandkid, whomever it is, I'm not going to hell for none of them. Y'all hear me? Car, house, jewelry, I'm not going to hell for none of them. My mind made up. I can write it down. I can show you. I ain't got nothing I'm willing to give up my soul for. What I'm willing to die for is what I believe. That's simply because I'm a businessman. I'm looking to take it to this changer. I'm looking to get usury on it. This what I got is temporary. He said he'll give me everlasting. If all we're going to do is swap out, I ain't going to do it. I used to play marble. I would never swap marble if somebody got the same marbles I got. That's just stupid business. Even as a kid, we used to go, you had a hunching, I'll give you 2-3 marbles for that. That hunching worth that. Y'all remember that? Who used to shoot marble? Y'all remember that big hunching marble? Then you had some of them pretty ones. Man, if I'm give one of them cat eye, listen. If you want that cat eye, you're going to give me like 2 of them marbles. Come on, business man. So he asking me to give up this life I got. He give me cat eye. He got to give me cat eye. I'm going to give up this. I ain't giving this up to pick the same thing back up. I'm looking to pick up better. Got it? He a businessman. I'm teaching y'all business. Why would you say he'll die to get the same thing? Why would you spend $5 to get $5? Invest $5 to get $5. That's bad business. You could have kept what you had. If he can't give me nothing better than what I got, it don't make sense to do this. I'm only doing it on the agreement that I'm going to get better. It don't make sense to do it to get the same thing I had. I'm looking to see better. He said everybody that gave it up, he said going to receive double. What we looking for? That's what I'm telling y'all. Y'all come. What are y'all trying to do? Where y'all trying to go? People that white, what are y'all trying to do? Y'all understand they're going to cost y'all something. They're going to cost you everything you got. So you need to look at, you might want to jump in the car with somebody going 20 west. Will you hypothetically, Augusta, and get to the Mount Cool? 20 west won't get you there. It'll run you to Alabama. It'll run all the way to Mississippi. It'll run you a whole lot of places. It just won't take it to Augusta. You can run on up to Texas. You just don't make it to Augusta. All these different ways and all these different places you can go just don't equate or equivalent to salvation. So y'all need to sit down and count up the cost.